Sorry, y'all, the YouTube side just cut out on us. We were running smooth, I was chatting away, I look over and I saw the YouTube studio, it was like no data, and I was like, what? Like, why is that? But thank you all for joining back, I really do appreciate you. But yeah, like I was saying, this is definitely my favorite job. Even though some of the jobs are shorter than others, you can still take the train and travel across the map, which I used as a method to test the game with my mods and stuff, just mainly with the job script with the Zen and Serenity as well. That's where you can run into a couple issues there, but everything seems to be going good. I found actually a couple helpful tips through the mod that we got. For example, the RDR2 spawn fix. That one said, you know, if you experience some issues, especially after you delete mods or add some new things or adjust your settings a couple times, the VRAM memory is going to build up, and so you should delete your settings folder. And so I've learned to start doing that after every couple of times. So even though that entails having to reconfig some settings, I don't mind it. A couple seconds. That is that for this one, y'all. It's a cool town. We're gonna keep going.
girl.
Well, that didn't work as intended, but it's alright. See where we're at real quick. Here in Rhodes. I want to take y'all by. The old Emerald Ranch cabin. Oh, actually, might as well while we're in town.
Easy, easy.
You better have a damn good reason for being here.
All right, easy now.
That's it. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, settle down there.
You die. Land.
Damn it! Crush! Yeah. Ooh. Whoa there. Easy now.
You after all this.
We just trying to do some work there. That didn't work out.
Yeah. Slow up now.
Here we go.
truth. Trouble brewing between the hay and grass, I can feel it.
True enough. Heck, who was there?
Could have sworn something was there.
Reckon this place
Is that no joke for us? Last chance.
given the laziness of some folk got the name.
That's so.
Go! Don't you stop moving!
Come on, girl. Yep.
Not bad, y'all. Made a good chunk of change there. Need to feed old Spot real quick. That long journey. Especially the train ride too. Been away for a little bit.
Yeah, that's better, girl.
Got a cool spot down there. You can go up there and sit. Sit at the table, play some cards by the fire. My favorite thing is this place has got 2 fires outside and one in the fireplace. We're having a fox problem the other day. I don't know if that's going to persist or not. Go to first person, but living room right here, y'all. Double barrel shotgun up there in the rack. Here we got the bedroom. Nice window. And then here we got an office. I really like this room. I just wish we could sit in this chair. But that'd be really cool. Spot for the ambient stream for sure. What are you doing, Bear? Oh, that'd have been cool. You gotta be in proximity to the theater for the mobile theater to play. And we are a bit too far. That'd have been cool though, y'all. And the cool thing, y'all, is with the spawner, with that rampage trainer here, if you go here, animals, obviously you can get other stuff, but I'm not interested in that. For example, if we wanted, we could put cattle all through here, which I have done and tested. Works fine, has no issues. The only thing is I wanted to do it for the ambient stream. The only thing is, y'all, after I had them all through the trees here, all over here, nicely sorted, make a lot of noise, so I was like, I don't know how that'll fare our ambient streams, you know. Sometimes you get caught here. Alright. Try that later. It's a cool little spot up there though, y'all. Nice little overlook of the property. Good job about our fox problem. Now what we will go ahead and do, have a little fun, y'all. Might as well. Not this way, Arthur. Turn around. There you go. Oh, wrong. Wrong way. Easier to do it like this. One more. Then we'll put in a nice rooster. There we go. And there it is. We got chickens, y'all. I've been thinking too over the course of the last couple of days, y'all, that if we should... I know I'm gonna end up doing an ambient stream of both, but for the first one back, wondering if we should do it here or at the loft, because I also added a mod for the loft as well.
Back out there, girl. Easy now. Easy. Whoa. Whoa, easy. Okay, my girl. Yeah. Easy.
Stumbled across some bison, y'all. Beautiful.
Yeah. There we go. Good girl. Yep.
Not bad, Joe.
Okay then.
It's an awesome little spot.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. As soon as I say something, we gotta go.
Yeah. Slow it up.
This is the spot, Joe. Alright, Joe. Wanted to show y'all that one. I found this one by chance because when I did one of the train jobs, I delivered right here to this cargo spot. The old New Hanover Pocket Station. Dropped me off right here and didn't have my horse yet. Heard that waterfall. Had to stop on by.
Easy,
But now
easy.
I'll do load this into the map. Then we'll head on over there, y'all. I'm glad we were able to do the train job. We were able to help at the saloon there in Valentine. Chop some wood over there in Rhodes. Ooh. Really? What did we do over there? It's just like right there. Just this one spot. As soon as we're out of there. Alright. Oh, I think that might be the ranch or something. I don't know. I don't think so, but my best guess. There it is. Sorry, y'all. Looking familiar with where the loft is. Now we gotta get down all the way. Okay. Let's see.
Yep.
Not this way, Spot. I don't wanna go to the edge. I'm not as brave as you are. That beautiful music. Listen, Jack.
Easy
I'm doing
now.
the best I can.
¡Suéltame! ¡Ayúdame!
Easy.
¡Socorro! ¡Alguien me ayude! ¡No me suelta! Señor, por favor, ayúdeme. Me duele. Me desangró.
I got some medicine.
Medicina. ¿Ya para qué? No puedo.
Well, we tried there, bud.
Hey there. Yeah.
We gone. See y'all later. Oh, don't. There you go. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too much further now, y'all. Just right up there. This is some serious terrain, though. Such a cool area over here.
Yeah. Whoa, easy. Easy there. Yeah, there's a girl. There, girl.
And this is the loft, y'all. With the mod, of course. Has a couple more personal touches. Pretty cool. Whoop. Knocking stuff over immediately. Another awesome one, y'all. Really cool indeed. I tried to get the Arthur's New Home, which is the stilt shack. Changes the stilt shack around a little bit. But that one, when I tried to spawn it in to the map editor, it caused some issues. Let me know, so I just ended up taking it out. Cool stuff up here in case of my bad, y'all. Do some painting up here. Got some binoculars. What's going on there? He just gets lonely, I think, y'all. He just don't like to be too far away. Let you know. See here. Be cool if we could paint something right there. Some Bob Ross vibes. That'd be awesome. Yep, as this little seat and everything, be able to sit here. There we go. A super, super cool spot. I discovered it, but never went in. I just figured we wouldn't be able to go in. From my understanding, there are hostile NPCs that'll show up over here, but I don't know if they'll, you know, come all the way up here or anything like that. I'm glad now though with testing out with everything on the mods. That's why I took those days, y'all. Trust me, I missed it. I do not like missing not being able to go live for y'all. I like being able to every day. But I wanted to really try and see what mods we wanted, what we could test, and however, once we stream the game in 4K, obviously, you know, that taps in the bit rate, a little bit of your settings there, and so just adjusting and playing with those. But from what I've seen, when you're doing all these upscale mods and stuff, now I understand a little bit now when I've seen all these wonderful creators also have it on high instead of ultra. I'm like, why not just max it all out? Because, you know, when you play on vanilla, you can, depending on your PC, right, obviously, like for myself, when I was going through the story mode at the beginning, we just had everything on ultra. But once you take these textures and stuff that were originally in Red Dead Redemption 2 at 2K and you upscale them to 4K, and now you've got every single window and every single trim of the door and all that stuff, you know, going up to 4K, it doesn't even become so much about your PC specs. It actually starts to become a bit of the Red Dead engine, the VRAM, what some call the VRAM curse. I'm not too familiar with it to talk like I'm a genius on it, but just some little things I've learned along the way to try and make it a little easier and more immersive for us. If y'all have hung out, y'all know I do not like stuttery streams. I do not do that. That's why I was like, let's just take a moment, reset now that we got all these mods. You know, because for sure, if the picture was better, just vanilla ultra, I would go that route. But given we can get the other things at 4K as well, just set it at high. We're kind of dealing with a different set of graphics, so to speak. Not fully, but you know what I mean. Different set of parameters, we'll say. Right now, this is one of my favorite vests in the game, y'all. And even though we got the Ultimate Edition and we could be wearing the El Nuevo, but really like the old bug vest. It gives just enough Woody from Toy Story, you know what I mean? I've also made up my mind, y'all, once I get my hair cut, which I'll be doing before we move, that's when we'll go and get Arthur one. Let's get ourselves together same day. Let me see. Oh, the satchel, speaking of that. Arthur, you need some pomade, my friend. You're right. There you go. whatever reason right here, this is about as far as we can go with the free cam. Even with that mod. Outside of these certain spots it'll let us, but I have noticed with certain house mods, things like that, it'll lock you in to a certain FOV, I guess. Now, of course, we do have the free cam, so no worries there. Wanted to do this stream more so like a, you know, do those jobs and things like that, especially at the beginning. That way people that watch it back, they also have something, but also wanted to use this kind of like a test, y'all, see where we're at. I was hoping we wouldn't have to, but obviously I don't know fully what YouTube Studio and OBS is gonna do to the game until once we get it going, so I do appreciate y'all's patience. You were there at the beginning on the first one. It has been a ton of fun though. There's so many cool things about this game, like just hanging out, relaxing in the world. You know, whether you're chilling at a house, cabin, saloon, out in the wilderness. You got wonderful ambience. Tomorrow, or later on today, given it's already 1 AM, I do want to do that one side mission, y'all, by Valentine. You know, the smaller saloon. Because I love that spot. I really like it, but we couldn't get a drink or anything because it wants us to do that side mission. So I think we'll go ahead and get that one done tomorrow. That'd be a lot of fun. And that way, hopefully, we can use that spot. And it's a lot more chill over there, too, so that'll be a nice little getaway spot, hopefully. From what I read on it, it was like, oh, it was very popular up until that spot popped up. It is a wonderful game. It really is. That is the truth. I agree with you there, 100%. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said 10 times over, you know. But it really is true. They missed a lot of opportunities with this game. A lot. Could have done a lot with it. Not saying that they, you know, didn't add certain things, but as we all know, they did just kind of up and leave it. No more updates. Yeah, and I saw one good point, and I will not act like it's my own, but I do agree with it. But someone said that they made the mistake of thinking that Red Dead players are the same as GTA players. You know, like that people that play GTA play Red Dead, vice versa, and that's not necessarily the case. You know, there's definitely some crossover, for sure, but there's also people that only play one or the other too. Yeah, I can respect that. I can't lie and say I'm not excited about it. I am very excited about that game. That is for sure. Big part of growing up between Florida and Georgia, mostly. There's other places, but the majority of it in Florida and Georgia, and so living here in Florida now, it being in Florida is going to be awesome. Really looking forward to that aspect of it. Only bet pennies. Oh man. A casino boat. Absolutely. Somebody, they were talking about it in chat last week about the poker boat. I don't know if it was a mod or online. I'm not too well versed in all that. That's another thing. Yo, I want to check out the Red M. Had to make sure I wasn't going to say 5M there. But I want to check out the Red M, check out online more, because I played online very, very briefly. I did not get into that nearly as much as I wish I would have. Yep, oh, I completely agree with you there. It will be mayhem. It will be mayhem online. It still is to this day. You can still, all these years later. I mean, I remember when I wasn't even old enough to get GTA 5. Like, wasn't even old enough to get that game on my own. Had to have my friend's older brother go into GameStop and get it for me. And then here we are now, all these years later. But still, I say that to say, you get on there now, and there's still people griefing and going wild. I did like when they added that to where you could go kind of single player style while online. I really liked that. That way you get away from some of the griefers. Yep, that's usually how it goes. Absolutely. Yeah, if I want to get on GTA Online, because I did put a bunch of time in it, and I had friends and I that would go on there, do the Perico heist, you know, glitch over and over and over and over again, so got plenty of stuff on that game. you know, to do from all the businesses, the little fun toys and stuff, but a lot of times I'll just go in there and go into the solo, you know, invite only server and just hang out. Go over to the studio. You know, another one though that I did actually enjoy, and one that I honestly do not mind redoing every time that I go into it, is those Dr. Dre missions. Those were a lot of fun, I can't lie. And for it to pay you $1 million at the end, that's not too bad. I think it takes, if I'm not mistaken, about an hour or so. You know, maybe I'm not thinking right at all, but. And as we know in GTA, $1 million isn't. That's nothing. That's like a pack of gum down in, I don't know, Los Santos. Yeah, the heist, you gotta have somebody to do the heist with, and then I believe, in my opinion, just with the way that they work their systems, with how expensive they made everything, I'm just like, I'd rather just do the glitch with a friend a couple times, get the things we want to do, and then hang out. That's what we ended up doing a lot of times. We'd like dedicate like an hour and do the glitches, and then buy our things and hang out a little while. What's going on, Medi? Yeah. I used to love playing Call of Duty so much. And I still get that itch every once in a while, but I haven't played it. I did play Black Ops 6 when it first came out, and I did have a lot of fun with it. For a while there, and then eventually I just stopped. Sorry, yo. Eventually I just stopped because I started playing a lot of ATS, and then we got into Farming Simulator 25. Been a minute since I played Black Ops 6 even. That new trailer, that new Call of Duty trailer is in the Summerfest, that threw me off. I did not expect that's what that was. I was like, what is this? Then it got to the end, I was like, oh, Call of Duty, what? Appreciate all y'all stopping by. We're just taking it easy. Kind of doing more so of a test stream right now, y'all. After adding all these 4K mods. Dealing with some different parameters, so wanted to make sure we had everything dialed in before we went live tomorrow. Do some side missions, some fishing, some jobs. We did do an awesome train job. We've got the jobs mod, if any of y'all are familiar. I'm sure a bunch of y'all are. But to anyone that's not, just adds different things we can do. Delivery jobs, train jobs. We can work at the saloon. Work at the docks. Docks job's pretty extensive too, y'all. That one takes some time. I was testing them out, seeing what they all kind of entailed a little bit. And the docks, that one is not short of content, we'll see. Been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remakes. They've been good. I saw that they were coming out. That is so awesome. Super happy to see that. Those are some iconic games there. What was that game, y'all? I can't remember the name of it, but it had like the board and everything. I got that years and years ago. I think I was in like middle school at the time. But it was the Tony Hawk game where it had that interactive skateboard and you put it on the ground. One's been out 4 years. Yeah, I'm talking about here recently at Summerfest. If it's not Summerfest, the Game Fest, whichever one, y'all. You know, there's like the PC showcase, the Xbox showcase. We got the Summerfest for the games. But in one of them, there was a Tony Hawk 4 or something like that. They're gonna be remaking, doing something. It's been a couple weeks since I saw it now, but it looked really cool. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming out. It is scheduled to launch on July 11th, 2025. Remake. It'll be coming out July 2025. It'll be on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. Nice. That'll be cool. What's going on, Diesel Trucker? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good night, or good morning, depending on where you're at. Technically morning for me too, but we're just hanging out. Doing a little bit of a test stream after adding all these 4K mods. That'll sound like a broken record, but since we're dealing with a little bit of parameters, different parameters, I wanted to make sure that we were going to be good to go once we do our, 4 or 6 hour streams where we're actively playing the game. Next thing to do is remake Underground. Ooh. That one. God forgive me because it's been so long, but is that the one where you're playing and like you go and hop over that car? I remember that car scene so much. I just thought it was so cool. It was a cool looking car if I'm not mistaken. At least for my my younger self, it was a cool looking car and I wanted to drive it so bad even though I was in a skating game. Because back then, I should say, because I still carry that over, we still play ATS. But I started gaming through car games, stuff like that. Need for Speed Underground, all that wonderful stuff. It really is. It really is. That's it. Oh man. Yeah, that game is so iconic. That would probably be my favorite Tony Hawk game. And again, I'd have to play them all. You also, forgive me because I'm probably not nearly as well versed. But that one is the one that stuck with me the hardest. Even after all these years. And I mean, I played that as a young fella. Play iRacing these days? Nice. I need to check that one out. Played a lot of F1, played BeamNG for a time. I don't have it anymore on this PC for whatever reason, but we'll have to rebuy it. Just like we did Red Dead, but that's okay. Oh, y'all, speaking of that, since we're just chatting away, somebody needs to change my category on me. I'm just kidding there, but my girlfriend and I, we've been decluttering because we're going to be moving. We've been at this place, I think, going on almost 6 years, and we're going to be moving. Not too far away, but super awesome situation. I'm really looking forward to it. But with all that, decluttering, obviously, as you do, getting rid of anything we don't need to take with us to the new place. And with that, he was going through this little chest or whatever, those types of little things you put at the edge of your bed, store blankets, etc. and found all of these old Xbox games, y'all. Found Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Far Cry New Dawn, all types of stuff, just to name a few. But I saw that Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely playing this. And what's so funny about that, y'all, is it's obviously the Xbox One games. And so I got the Xbox Series S back when it was impossible to get an Xbox Series X. I'm sure y'all remember that. It was just super difficult. So I settled for the Xbox Series S, that way I could get the next gen. Obviously that's all digital. So given that it's all digital, I wasn't able to play those past gen games like you're able to on the Series X. Well, fast forward, now I have the Series X and the Series S behind my monitor next to my gaming laptop here, the Legion Pro 7i. And just for anyone new, it does run with the NVIDIA 4080. Really good, but really expensive. Got to pay for the subscription, then buy additional cards and tracks. I got you. Getting a remake. I'd be so happy about that. I'd be so happy about a Black Flag remake. And then what's funny too is I got Red Dead Redemption 2, like I've talked about before when people ask, you know, have I ever played the game, which I have not beat this game. Obviously I sadly know that how this ending goes, but I don't know every little thing about the game, and it has been like getting to play it for the first time in a lot of ways. But it was funny because I have the hard copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 as well, so. I definitely have to throw that on the Xbox for nostalgia. But Black Flag, oh that set me off on my pirate games, and then I got super heavy into Sea of Thieves. Super heavy. I mean I mained that game for a long while. And then I just kind of fell off on it. I do play it seasonally. I need to get it back, especially after getting this PC, y'all. I need to play Sea of Thieves now. Because I used to play Sea of Thieves only on an Xbox. And on my old PC, when I tried to play Sea of Thieves, it was an embarrassment. It was not fun. Absolutely. Just the stuff from what I've seen in TikTok shorts. I did play, I think, I know I played to at least chapter 4 when I played all those years ago when it first came out. And I did play Red Dead Redemption 1 when I was a kid, when I was very young. And I'm very happy that I got to experience that game. That's still one of my all-time favorite games ever. I will definitely have to hop on there. Once I get locked back in, we'll be a menace on the seas, I tell you. Because I usually do solo slooping. I'm sure you probably have to do that as well. But I solo slooped for years. I mean years and years and years. And they even did a stat to show the percentage of people that were solo slooping, and I was a part of that little percentage. And then I had my friends play with me, but they'd only play for like one day. Because you know how that is. Some of us like one game, one group's playing another, or just all into different things all at once. But I was kind of like the only one in my friend group that really wanted to play Sea of Thieves. Now my stepdad and his sister, though, they were playing Sea of Thieves for a while. I don't know if they're still playing it heavy, but they were playing that for a while, so that could also be some more people we could get in. Oh yeah, there's so much to do on Sea of Thieves, and there's so much to do on Red Dead too. They're both those two games too. Same thing with Skyrim. Like we did that mod list, which I'm going to be redoing, y'all. I actually just took that off of my computer. Freed up a ton of space. But I'm going to be redoing that to make sure we got the new reshade update. Any new mods that got updated, because it's like over 2,000 mods, y'all. So we're going to be redoing that one, and then we'll probably check out that one as well, because I also kind of do more sim-like as well. You'll notice that to anybody that is new to the channel. We do play a lot of simulation content like American Truck Simulator. That's pretty much like the main thing. But I've been hooked on Red Dead. And so obviously we are going to play the story. But as you'll see in the description, when I say we're going to be taking it slow, we're going to be taking it very slow. We're over 200 hours and we're still in chapter 2. And I still have no urgency to get through. I want to really take my time immerse ourselves in the world, just because I don't want this to be a game that we only get to play for a short time on the channel and then move on. I want us to really be able to enjoy it, and there's so many cool things that you can do as far as add mods to add for the survival mechanics, different things for immersion. It happens. It does happen. Even if you're good, I've seen good players go down. It's happened to me more than I'd like to admit. But one thing that really helped is when they added that new mode to where you'd go under the water. I can't remember the mode name right now because it's been so long, like I said, Joe, but you go under the water and you spawn up and you'd be in front of the ship that you're going to fight. And obviously there were awards, cosmetic awards, which that whole game revolves around. And so I was like, well, we're definitely doing this. And man, it was so funny. I'll never forget this one. I was going back and forth with this guy and they were like, man, okay, you're really good. We're not gonna win this. I really need a win. And so after fighting them for just ever, because they had 2 people, I believe, and you know, just kept preparing, and they just let me know. They invited me to a Xbox chat, and they were like, "Listen, man, I'm about out of supplies. What are we gonna do here?" And I was like, "Well, we're about to lose." But I ended up giving them the win just because they said they hadn't had any wins, and I know how it is, even when you first start playing it again, and it takes a while to get that back down. You know, for example, like the cannons. I always like to go and train a little bit with those. Right, you're that way with Cyberpunk. Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of the games I play. I like to immerse myself in the game. Like with Sea of Thieves, I'll hang out on an island. I'll park and just chill out on an island. Used to do it even when they didn't have safer seas, and most of the time somebody'd come and sink your boat or steal it if you weren't paying attention or too far away from it. But yeah, it happens on there. Or you come across a brig. I've gotten lucky a couple times, like when my buddy and we did Sea of the Damned, or Fort of the Damned, and I told him straight away because he was new to the game, and I was like, "Listen, this pretty much lets everybody know in the server that we're doing this," and I was like, "So we're probably gonna get some company." So I made sure we had a bunch of pineapples, you know, a bunch of food, cooked food, and they came. Of course, people showed up, and I thought they were trying to be hostile. I wish at first they were, but if I just kept holding block, eating pineapples, taking people out. And so eventually they invited us to a chat, and they're like, "Hey, listen, can we just do Fort of the Damned with you?" And that came into a beautiful experience. But I say all that to say it is also one of those games that I've had amazing memories on. Like on the community day, I grouped up with this lady that was an older lady. Her name was Grunt and Granny was her username, and she had a whole team of people that played with her. And they ended up taking over the server on community day, and we just stacked loot, yo. We made millions that day. So it's also one of those games you can have pure chaos go on, and you can also have some really wholesome moments. You spent 5 hours and not leveled up at all? Oh, that's rough. That's rough. See, I'm always on the side of go sell your loot early. You know, even if you're doing the sea forts, you know, just bopping from sea fort to sea fort and collecting the chests, you know, getting the key, all that stuff, and just stacking those. You can do a couple of those. I feel like you can do about 3 or 4 of those before you need to start to worry and take your loot back, before it starts to become like, hey, if we lose this is gonna hurt. Had to go play Escape from Tarkov to relax after that. I don't blame you. It has happened to me, I won't lie, and act like I haven't been sunk after I've had a bunch of treasure, and man, it will upset you. I don't care how cool and collective you think you are, even knowing like, hey, that's a part of the game. That's why it's called Sea of Thieves. Even when they said, I remember when they had that big stance of we will never add any type of safer seas, we'll just call it, since that's what it's called now. We'll never add a safer seas. The game is called Sea of Thieves. That's the whole point of the game. And then they eventually added it, but for that, you'd have a bunch of loot stacked, or go do those sunken treasure dives. Like, I'll just call it that because I can't remember the name of it. Come back up. I had one person, I'll never forget. I was doing a tall tale, and the person was like, "Hey, do you need this stuff?" And I thought they were being sarcastic, and I was like, "Yes, I'm in the middle of a tall tale." And they're like, "Yeah, I was gonna sink you, but I realized you were on a tall tale." And some people have an etiquette, like I hold the same. I won't do it to people that are on a tall tale. But basically, if someone's doing a tall tale, you don't ruin their tall tale experience. Let them be. But that guy was a legend, because I was still in the middle of my tall tale. Like, I still had like 10-15 minutes to go in that tall tale, and I was like, "I'll be done in a little bit if you don't mind waiting," because he sunk my boat. He was like, "I'm sorry, I sunk your boat." Then I realized you were on a tall tale. He's like, "But I want to make it right. I'll wait up here." And this dude waited and took me so I could deliver my chest that I needed to complete that particular tall tale. I believe it was that one where you had to get the sorrow chest. Just the sorrows. Yeah, the world events can get tedious. For sure. I love it when you can find more chill people that don't really want to mess up your vibe or whatever you got going on, whether you're just fishing or you're in the middle of a quest, tall tale, etc. Like for me, I usually tend to just try to leave people alone most of the time. Don't get me wrong, I'll have my fun and we'll get into it with folks, but oh, you definitely got to try the tall tales out. The tall tales, I'd recommend just going to safer seas, do some tall tales. You'll have so much fun because it opens up so much lore for the game. Definitely do the one with Jack Sparrow. The Pirates of the Caribbean tall tales are, in my opinion, they're the best. Maybe I'm a little biased because I grew up on that on that series, but man, I love those. The graphics, all the coral. Yeah, definitely finish it, my friend. Definitely finish that. And then they got so many other ones that you can do after that. That other people that you look it up will tell you are their favorites, but they've definitely got some really, really good ones. I love the tall tales, but those as well, they can get a bit much. And you're like, all right, man, it's been 2 hours. I remember I used to get off of work. I'd go and be like, all right, how long will this tall tale look? And I'd look up just a guide, you know, to get an idea. And I'm like, alright, even if I followed this, needing to pause and play, right, and this thing's like 3 hours, so I'm like, there's no way. But some of them, you know, you can get knocked out in about an hour. I think most of them are about an hour, but if you're trying to, you know, complete all the, we'll just say, achievements for them, to get all the cosmetic unlocks, like for the Pirates of the Caribbean, I had to go back through because that Chest of Sorrows has it's like a gnome bug that once you try to go through the door with it, sometimes it won't cross over to the other side with you, and then you can't go to the other side to get it back. So I think I ended up having to do that like 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, just by luck and coincidence, came on through for me. But on that day that it did, obviously that guy sunk me, but he did take me back. So I was like, man, thank you so much. I was like, you could have just done me dirty there, but looked out for me for sure. Got the game day one. There wasn't much to do. Right. Or you could hardly do anything. There really wasn't much at all to do. I didn't go in day one. I came in a little later, where there was a little bit more added at that point, but I was familiar with people. I had come across and made friends with folks that had been there since day one, like Granny, her crew. A lot of them were like day one players. And it seems like they're not stopping. They keep adding stuff. And I hope they do. I really do. I hope that game is a game that keeps on going. Hope they do a full-on remaster for it, you know, full-on graphical overhaul. I know they did with the Unreal Engine, I believe. But I know I'm sure they're going to have to do it here within at least, you know, next few years max. They have made getting Pirate Legend too a lot easier. Used to be a grind. Not saying it isn't still fully, but definitely a lot easier than it used to be, in my opinion. Banned for sinking a streamer. Now that's something there. That is no fun. Man, I appreciate you bringing up Sea of Thieves, though. I haven't thought about that game in a minute. I've seen that they recently did something with an update. I need to check it out. That they're going to be doing an update. It's been a minute since I've seen that. Can't recall exactly how long it's been, but I need to check it out. Especially around this time of year. Because I live in Florida, I go to the beach, that type of thing. That definitely fits my aesthetic during this time of year, so I usually play it seasonally. Definitely more of a seasonal game for me. I don't think I'll be able to fit that into the channel though, so that'll be a off-stream game for sure. Man, yo, this month has gone by quick. Can't believe it. It's already the 22nd now today, but it's gone by fast. clouds are gorgeous. Sorry, y'all. I've just been noticing that I had to say something. I don't even know if I've got Raymark enabled or not. If I don't, that is wild. Raymark just makes a little more detail in the clouds, y'all. And I'm really glad that I did the stream because I'm finally not fighting the fact that the upscale from 2K to 4K on all those mods, gotta dial it back a little bit. Because now the game's not rendering, 2K textures at ultra or high, it's rendering 4K. Gotta adjust. Same here. Still hot. 8 AM here. And still hot. I feel your pain, my friend. Let me see what it is. Okay, right now it's only 76 right now. But it says it feels like 79, so I'm right there with you. That old humidity. I love that detail. We put old Arthur's hat on there. Well, technically it's like a copy of his hat, but hey, gotta have a backup. Gotta have a backup. I'm sure if y'all found my little channel, you get those Red Dead shorts like I do, but there was one, y'all, that I saw today that just hit me in the feels about Arthur. I love all the comments. People are like, alright, well, I just want to let you know you are a terrible person, because it makes them emotional, get them teary-eyed or whatever. Yeah, I won't lie, it got me. Like finding out Arthur loves this particular hat because he can hide himself. Whenever he's self-conscious or whatever, he can, just kind of lower that brim a little bit and he's kind of tucked away. Like little stuff like that from people reading his journals and stuff. I'm like, goodness gracious, the lore of this game is so heavy, so deep. Arthur not paying any tax on them train robberies. Zilch. He just living. This is so cool. I'd love to live in a house like this, yo. No joke. Yeah, and you think about it, Arthur not paying rent or tax. Living a good life, Arthur. It can sure feel like that, can't it, my friend? I tell you what. But you gotta find enjoyment when you can, you know. Even if it's just 30 minutes doing something you like to do. Like I was talking with True Dog. You know, he's got a wife and kids and all that stuff, and we were just, you know, joking back and forth. He visits his channel pretty regularly when we're playing Red Dead. He's like, man, I could never play just as much as we were playing, because I also do ambient streams where I'll leave my stream up to where it's not the recordings that you'll see all to where it's kind of like on a loop after a certain point. I like to sync the game's time up with my IRL time and then let it go for about 12 hours with just ambient, no commentary, just taking in the rain, waterfall, swamp, etc. And so obviously that can help you get the hours stacked up on Steam. Can't really hear me with the rain? I got you. I was wondering if that would happen. The rain is very loud too. This one. There we go. Be quiet for now, rain. We don't need you. I love the rain because, or the weather selection, titled rain, we'll just say, because it is super, super loud. I think the shower one is a little quieter than rain, and I thought it would be more intense rain, but it's actually just more windy sounding. Yeah, I did not adjust my OBS filter for the rain. And I would talk louder, but I don't want to upset my girlfriend. But tomorrow when it rains, I'll be able to up the octave a little bit. Man, it is cozy in here. Y'all can get this Airbnb, just $500 a night. Right? You live here in Florida, we still believe that. Alright, Arthur. Stay on point, my friend. I don't think it's gonna work, but I just wanted to try. No. You gotta be closer. That was worth a shot, though. Want to check on old Spot. You can get them, but you can't use for defense. I got you. A neat little spot right here. Oh, they got. Gotcha. If you get a license, you can get one. Yeah, they just passed the law here to where you don't even have to have a law for concealed carry anymore. Or a license for concealed carry. I said it wrong, y'all. Little spot. Wanted to check this out here. See what's what. Oh, well, here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Oh, this is awesome. Oh, this is sweet. Also, we need to go get Spot because we can hitch Spot up back here. I'm sorry, Spot. I didn't know. Come with me.
Oi!
You can get old stuff. You don't need a license for. Oh, there you go. That is honestly not ringing a bell, to be honest. Look, they even got some water for you right here, girl. Look at that. There you go. Look at this view. Can't beat that, huh? That's nice. Right? That's what I was saying. She gets it, y'all. She gets it. Even if y'all think she don't. She do. And we can sit here. Type about that because of my other desk I can't. What are these pictures? Oh, that's cool. Oh, snap. That sounds intense. Especially for a rhino. That is too cool, y'all. Cinco Torres, Parma Rum. Look at that. Got some morning posters back there. This is awesome. The gym in the kettle. There you go. That's all you need, my friend. That's all you need. Now that's skill, Arthur. Arthur didn't even take his cigarette out. You'll see that he kept it in one side, ate with tell you what, the hours go by way too quick on this game. Way too quick. We've already been live 2.5 hours. And that's not even the first 46-minute stream that I had private. It was going and then it just cut out on us. Yeah, I've watched NASCAR, yeah. Mainly watch Formula 1 now, but growing up I had friends whose family would watch it a lot, and even had a best friend whose dad always would be listening to it in the truck. I really liked Earnhardt. Senior. Really good. I won't lie, as a kid, y'all, I liked Gordon. I won't even lie to y'all. Maybe it was like the blue and the flames and everything, you know, like a Hot Wheels car, but I remember my mom got me this NASCAR game, and I remember that car stood out to me. I was like, that one. I'm gonna drive this one. The McLarens. Yeah, they're good. McLaren's good. I like them all, you know. I can't honestly say that you know, there's one that I just absolutely despise. But definitely like, you know, the team leader for Red Bull,